In a factory in Britain's West Midlands industrial spine, this is powder coating. It applies a smooth, dry finish to metalwork, but to work, it needs heat. So much you can see it. These ovens run at more than 200 degrees C, and that takes gas, the cost of which is about to soar, threatening the viability of this company.
Next April, we come out of our tied-in contract, and the energy bills are forecast to go from roughly £60,000 to £70,000 a year to near £250,000 to £300,000 a year, which at the moment is unsustainable. Keeps you up at night. It's like a train coming down the tracks, and you can't avoid it. You're constantly worried about what you can do.
Wholesale gas prices aren't just fuelling the ovens here. The Bank of England says they'll drive inflation to a peak of 13.3% in the autumn and will keep it above 10% until this time next year. This is imported inflation, but to stop it being baked into domestic prices, the bank's raising rates at home by the largest amount in 28 years, despite the looming recession. So is it the case this has got to hurt if it's going to work?
The reason we're doing it is because if we don't get inflation under control, if we don't bring it down from where I'm afraid it's got to go up to because of, let's say, of this huge energy shock that we're having, if we don't bring it down, then the damage and the distress will be even greater.
This is a truly bleak forecast from the bank, and its medicine will be hard for many to swallow. An interest rate rise that could add £650 to average mortgage repayments on top of energy bills that will rise above £3,500, turning energy poverty into a mainstream issue, even for the affluent, not just the very poorest. But the message from the bank is that it's necessary to keep long-term inflation in check. For Rachel, a single mother on universal credit, there's little room left to budget for the squeeze that lies ahead.
When it first all started, I'd already, cancelled your Prime and your Netflix and things like that because, you've got to eat, you've got to have the heating on, especially with a 2.5-year-old. But I don't know how much more I can actually cut out without it affecting buying food in for both me and William, which is a serious thought and really does get me worried.
This family and millions like them will need help until the bank and government put the lid on inflation. Paul Kelso, Sky News at the Bank of England.